Hi and welcome back. In this lecture we're going to talk about key insight 5, the emergence of new business models. So if you look at the normal bottom line, it's basically the final total of an account or the balance sheet. Well, there's something called triple bottom line. So that's focusing on planet, people and profit. So just like ESG or environmental, social and governance frameworks are used to determine and guide the business strategy, this is also used for businesses to evaluate their performance in a broader perspective to create greater business value. Then if you talk about the business models, we have the sharing economy. So sharing economy is basically the economic model which is defined as peer-to-peer or participant to participant based on activity of acquiring, providing or sharing access to goods and services, often through online community-based platforms and systems built around the sharing of resources. For example, ride-sharing and car-sharing apps like Uber, crowdfunding apps like GoFundMe, co-working platforms like WeWork. So the sharing economy has been gaining momentum during the past few years due to the many benefits that it brings, especially in terms of democratizing access to markets. So there are also other benefits like monetizing underutilized assets. For example, you might have an electric vehicle that's always parked in the garage and it's hardly used. So it's underutilized, so you can use that and sign up with a platform like Uber and get paid as well as reduce the emissions. Then there are things like save money and resources. So for example, you do not need to own a car. You can easily get on Uber and go, saving you thousands of dollars of car loans and leasing payments and insurance payments and all these sort of things. Then there are things like more flexible. So you can have a wide variety of choices, especially all these online marketplaces. Then it's more efficient allocation of resources. So these business models have mastered the art of matching the supply and demand and also ensuring that the supply is not hampered in any way when there's a very high demand. So things like that are also there. Then we have things like get more reasonable prices. So because all these platforms are very open, consumers can see from different vendors and then suit the best option. Then we have things like reducing the environmental impact. So we can easily understand the assets that are underutilized, overutilized and exhausted, and then allocate the underutilized assets to an area where there's a greater demand. But also this has a very negative impact as well. So there's also regulatory uncertainties as well. So because these business models are very fast evolving and changing, regulatory authorities are unable to formulate strategies to keep up with these business models. Then there are things like unclear taxes. So where do you draw the line? So can it be defined like a clear source of income, and how do you draw the line and tax them? Then we have things like missing out on allowances and other benefits. So most of these workers in the gig economy don't have regular worker benefits. So things like healthcare insurance and accident coverage and that sort of a thing. And also lower security in terms of job security. Then we have something called product service system or PSS. So these are business models which provide united delivery of products and services. So PSS models are emerging as a means to enable collaborative consumption of both product and services with the aim of pro-environmental outcomes. So let's talk about a few business models as such. First we have leasing. So service providers are incentivized to continually improve the design for optimized cost over total life cycle and for multiple life cycles. And also service providers are responsible for maintenance, repair and control, which lead to resource efficiency improvements. Then we have renting and sharing. So more intensive use. And then we have things like use of the product may be discouraged, for example cost per kilometer and hour in addition to other contract costs. So there might be charges if you overuse these kind of products as well. Then we have models like pay per use. So more conscious use of the product, because you only pay for what you use, you are very conscious about what you use and consume. Then we have things like functional results. So potential environmental benefits of leasing plus paying for an outcome or result rather than a product could incentivize the service providers to be much more energy efficient and cost efficient and deliver quality and durability as well as long-lasting products. Then talking a bit more about how technology could enhance these new business models and create new business models. So if you look at IoT capabilities, we have things like monitoring. So monitoring is entirely focusing on monitoring the telemetric data. So sensors and external data sources enable comprehensive monitoring of the product's conditions, external environment and the product's operation and usage, and also it enables alerts and notifications of the changes. So we can understand in real time of the product's usage, things like what are the components that's used most and how will the product behave in certain scenarios, and all these things can be understood and then fine-tuned and optimized based on things like artificial intelligence, which is able to continuously improve and adapt the machines and the equipment based on the environment. Then we have things like control. So software embedded in the product or in the product cloud enables the control of the product functions and personalization of the user experience. So we can greatly tailor-made products and services based on the user's preferences, behaviors, needs, capabilities, and also so many other factors so that the user gets what they want exactly the way that they want it. Then we have things like optimization. So these type of services will enable monitoring and controlling algorithms to optimize the product operations and continuously enhance the performance of the product and allow predictive diagnostics, service, and repair. So it will significantly deliver a lot of value to the user because the user will instantly feel that their products and services are personalized to their exact requirements, and also the user will feel that the system is considering the user's point of view. For example, if you're a business owner, you want your products and services to be optimized, your business processes to be optimized as much as possible. So that is being done using these kind of tools. Then we have things like autonomy. So combining monitoring, control, and optimization allows autonomous product operations. So for example, things like self-driving cars, autonomous drones and robots who go out there and capture the telemetric data. For example, the usage of natural resources, deforestation, and scenarios like that. And also things like self-coordination of the operation with other products and systems, autonomous product enhancement and personalization, self-diagnosis, and service. Well, that's about it for Key Insight 5, the emergence of new business models. I'll see you on another lecture.